All right, class number 8 on the solving absolute value review is we got this 1/3 times the absolute value of x minus 5 plus 2 equals 2x minus 1. So this is the first time where on the other side of the equation we have an x and a number like 2x minus 1. We have a binomial over here. And so this one's going to be a little bit tougher. And so let me show you how this works. I need to isolate the absolute value first. I need to get the absolute value by itself, so I need to move everything over. I need to subtract that 2 over. I would always do addition subtraction first before I did like the multiplication over here. And I get 2x minus 3 is equal to 1/3 absolute value of x minus 5. So to get rid of a 1/3, I'm going to multiply by 3, right? You can think of it as 3 over 1 if you're used to just multiplying by the reciprocal to get rid of a fraction. And I need to multiply this whole side by 3. You can think of it as 3 over 1 too. And that'll cancel away, and I get the absolute value of x minus 5 is equal to, and I need to multiply by 3, so that 3 distributes into both of these, so it's going to be 6x minus 9. So now I have the bars by themselves, and I can split it into its two equations. And I'm going to split up here. Let's bring this all up here where I have more room. X minus 5, absolute value, equals 6x minus 9. So I'm going to split it into x minus 5 equals 6x minus 9. Now, when you come up with the negative version of this, x minus 5 equals, and one of the big mistakes I see here is people just write negative 6x minus 9. They just flip that first sign. What you actually have to do is take that 6x minus 9 and make the whole thing negative by putting a negative on the outside like that. Think of it as like multiplying by -1 almost. So it flips everything negative. So that is going to be negative 6x and then plus 9. So now I have my two equations, and I'm going to solve them both. And let's see what we get here. I'm going to minus this x over, minus this x. So I get negative 5 is equal to 6x minus x is 5x minus 9. I'm going to add the 9 to the other side. And I get negative 5 plus 9 is 4 equals 5x. And then I'm going to divide by 5, x is equal to 4 over 5. Let's just cancel, leaves you with x is equal to 4 over 5. Now let's solve this one and see what we get here. All right, we're going to minus the x over, minus the x over. So I get negative 7x plus 9 equals negative 5. Cancel that. I'm going to subtract the 9 to both sides and cancel that. And I got negative 5 plus negative 9, that is negative 14 equals negative 7x. I'm going to get rid of that negative 7 by dividing both sides by negative 7, and I get x is equal to 2. So my two answers are 2 and 4/5. Okay, so now that I have my two solutions, I need to check my work now. And when I check, it's going to be a lot easier if you use this version of the equation to check, the one where you isolated the bars. You can check with that version. It's probably best to check with this one, but this will be a lot easier to use. As long as you did your math right in isolating, this one should work as a way to check, and it'll be a lot quicker check if you use your isolated equation as your check. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to plug in 4/5 to this equation up here. X minus 5 equals 6x minus 9, the absolute value. So I got the absolute value of 4/5 minus 5. So I plugged in 4/5 for x is equal to 6 times 4/5 minus 9. So I'm going to simplify this side over here first, this one over here. So I got 6 times 4 is 24 over 5. Think of it as 6 over 1, 24 over 5 minus And 9, if we needed as denominator 5, how would I do that? I'd have 9 and then a 5 on the bottom and a 5 on the top, right? And I'd get 45 over 5. So 24 over 5 minus 45 over 5. And that is negative 21 over 5 is equal to the absolute value of 4/5 minus 5. Now, the good thing about checking this way is you can stop right now, because your absolute value bars over here need to be equal to a negative number, and that is not possible. Once you've isolated the absolute value, if this side over here goes negative, so I would always do the work on this side first and see if it's negative. So if this absolute value equals a negative number, this cannot be true, so 4/5 does not work as an answer. Now let's plug in 2 now. Let's plug in 2 over here to this same equation, absolute value. Remember, I'm going off this equation right here, x minus 5 equals 6x minus 9, with absolute value bars around x minus 5. So 2 minus 5 equals 6 times 2 minus 9. And 2 minus 5 is negative 3 absolute value equals 6 times 2 is 12 minus 9. The absolute value of negative 3 is just 3 equals 12 minus 9 is 3. That one checks out. So the only valid solution for number 8 is x equals 2.